Hey tubers, it's Not a Wog coming back at you. A few months ago, about a month and a half, I think, back before Thanksgiving, um, I went to a flea market after having seen or having watched a few videos of flea market finds that some of y'all out there have been finding. So I thought, hey, I might as well go check one of those out if I can find one up here. So I got on Craigslist and I found a guy doing a flea market sale out in Warren County, out on 66 a ways. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I got there. And at the end, I'll probably show you a couple other little things that I've gotten since then just because I think they're interesting or I have something to say about them. To start off with, I'm going to show you what I got for a dime a piece. It was 10 for $1 on this pile. And the first three, I think that I got a real deal on just because I really like the books and I think they're pretty cool. First one is Death Blow number 5. It's a variant cover. And shit, there's too much glare right there. Oh, there we go. I found a good spot. So anyways, it's Death Blow number 5. Variant. Team 7, number 1. Variant. Gen 13, number 5. Variant. I know that Image way overproduced these books back in the day. But for a dime, come on. You can't beat this. Give me just a second. I'm going to back my camera up a little bit so I have room for more books. There we go. So next on, out of this pile, I'm going to show you some of my favorite comic books in the last, wow, it's been more than a decade now. It doesn't seem like it, but anyways. This company I thought was amazing. I thought they were putting out an amazing product, and I was really sad to see that they folded. I went on a deployment once. I come back 6 months later, and my favorite company just folded out of nowhere. So the first book from these guys is it's Cross Gen Comics. I really can't say enough about how much I enjoyed these books back in the day. First one is Archer's Agent. That's number 1, and that's for, don't know this guy. I haven't read these yet, so I got to get into them still. The next one up is again Archer's Agents number 2, or also a number 1. I think they just did one shots for these books on the individual characters. Next up is Sojourn number 30. This, out of all those books, this is probably one of my favorites. I did not pay attention to DC at this time, so I had no idea who Greg Land was when this book came out. But man, it blew me away. I just loved his work. I know some people don't like his work because they think he's just copying photographs and whatever. Well, to them, I say whatever. He produces a good-looking book. I don't care what anybody's got to say about it. And again, continued in these 10 for $1 books. Found another comic book company, favorite of mine, that folded earlier than they should have, I think, was Valiant. And this is Harbinger number 22. Now, back in the day, I got out of the Valiant bandwagon late. But I did get into Turok and XO Man of War. 2 of my favorite books at that time. And Acclaim bought out the company, and just because they wanted the rights to the characters for their video games. I think they only ended up making maybe 1 or 2 games, and one of them was Turok, which was a pretty good game on the N64. I enjoyed it, but it was very, very sad to see this company go. And when they came back recently, in the last year or two, can't tell you how happy I was to see that. I just really wish that they had also gotten the rights to some of the other larger books, like Magnus, Robot Fighter, Solar, and I'm missing one, and it's a huge one. I can't think. Magnus, Solar. Well, Turok. They didn't get Turok, which will be coming out soon from IDW, somebody like that. So anyway, I'm trying to find. Alright, I can't find it, who the other one is, but it's another big one, and I'm sure one of you guys will be able to comment. So to continue on these vein of Valiant books, I got Ninjak number 2, number 3. Now I really like this cover. It just lends itself a little bit to the Art Nouveau movement, in my opinion, just a little bit with all these extra lines here and the vein or the leafy vines here, and I like it. It's kind of Art Nouveau, and I really kind of like that stuff from back in the day. Then moving on to Ninjak number 6. Now this is a book that I never read. The New Secret Weapons number 12. And again, number 12. Again, I have this habit of when I'm going through piles of boxes of books of pulling out one or two of the same book for some odd reason. I don't know why. So I've got Rye and the Future Force number 11. So since Valiant started back up again, I've gotten on this kick where I'm trying to piece together all the back issues from all their titles. And at a dime a book, you really can't beat going this way. Like I said, some of these though, they definitely show that they're a dime a book, like up here with this cover. But quite a few of these book covers are really nice, very sharp books. So I'm gonna move on to Solar Man of the Atom number 16. This is a book that back in the day I did not read this one at all. It just didn't. I don't know. It just didn't catch my attention, I guess. And plus, by the time I got into it, they were so far along in their in their issues that I just felt like I was too far behind. And at the time that I started reading them, these early Valiant books, man, they were going for an arm and a leg. So Solar Man of the Atom number 18. These are all these covers. I'm sorry. This cover right there was a Quesada cover. I don't see his name on that one. His name is on this one here. It's Quesada. So we're gonna move on from there to again. I didn't really this next one, Shadow Man. I didn't really read a whole lot of Shadow Man back in the day, but I've been reading the new bunch and I really enjoy it. I like it quite a bit. So I only picked up one of these because they didn't have many Shadow Man in that particular box, and it was number 28. This next book I really enjoy a lot, and I've been reading it since this back in the day. I threw down the $30 for the first issue, back in the day, and collected almost all of them. It's just a character that, for me, I remember how much I enjoyed watching There Can Be Only One, the Highlander, that movie, and the whole flashback to the little spots in history that he had. And this book does a lot of that. Eternal Warrior. So, obviously, Eternal Warrior means he's immortal. So, yeah, he goes back, back through time, spots that he's been at and places in history he's been doing his thing for the Earth. That's number 10. And I also picked up 24. I've probably got these already, but again, a huge majority of my books are I don't have access to right now, just because, like I said, they're in storage at my mother's house. And I picked up this next one, Predator versus Magnus Robot Fighter. I'll have to read that one soon, but I've got so many back issues I need to get through just reading them, but I'll get to it someday. Oh, I'm sorry, that was number 2, my bad. Number 2 of 2. Okay, next up for these Valiant books, I've got Armorines number 4. Skip that. Hardcore number 6. Hardcore number 16. Then on to, this is a book I did not read at all back in the day, but the new run is proving to be pretty hilarious and entertaining to me. It's Archer and Armstrong. Start with number 12. Number 17. This book's in rough shape. It's got gook on the front, but again, a dime. You can't beat it. 18. 26. Again, I did it again. 26, but I even put it in the book the same way. I think this is actually has a separate cover on the back. I'm going to move on to the last of these 10-cent books and Valiant books as well. Bloodshot number 5, Bloodshot number 6, and Bloodshot number 10. Now for these ones compared to the new books, I haven't read much of these, but I really am enjoying the new series. It's pretty cool. It's a little confusing, kind of like reading Spawn back in the day, with all the, oh, I have memories, I don't have memories, whatever. But yeah, I really do enjoy this series. I'm going to move on to books that I got for $1 a piece, I think. Let me look real quick to see if I can find them. Okay, so yeah, I think these are the $1 books. Image put out this series back, I don't know, early 2000s, called The Red Star, and so I found for $1 Red Star number 5 and Volume 2 number 5, and this was not put out by Image. It's put out by Archangel Studios. I didn't even know that these books existed, but I believe that they are the same, made by the same people, and I think they're the same story or the same characters and all. So I decided to pick them up, and then I bought Annual number 1, which came out in 2002. Again, for $1, you can't really beat it. Any comic book for $1, and I'll show you one that I probably should have passed on for $1, but I'll show it to you anyways. All right, again, these books were all $1. I got Marvel Girl number 1. You got Alpha Flight. I think it's the second volume, number 2, number 9, and number 10. Now, back in the day, I didn't read Alpha Flight because I didn't even know. I didn't have access to them just because of where I lived, and so I've been checking them out, and I've been enjoying them. I've got quite a few back issues I got off of eBay of the first volume that I've been reading through, and really enjoying the stories. I've just gotten up to just where I think John Byrne left the series, and it seems like it's going downhill a little bit. But I don't have too many of the later issues after that. Okay, this next book is Young Avengers number 1. It's a one-shot. I think it's drawn by Alan Davis. Now this next bunch, I picked these up just because I like the covers and they were $1, and I do like the Red She-Hulk character. Now, I'm not a fan of the Hulk. I never have been. I always thought that the character was kind of boring, particularly when it was Banner turns into the Hulk, destroys everything, he's a mindless brute, doesn't have any idea what he's doing. That always just bored me. Even when I was a kid, I just didn't think it was interesting. But I do think even the Red Hulk I think is interesting. I do think the Red She-Hulk is pretty cool, and I was disappointed when they just canceled the Red She-Hulk title. I think that that character has so much potential that they just gave up on too soon. I think maybe I might be in the minority as far as people that actually enjoy that character and like her. Now this next one is She-Hulk's number 1. I really like this guy's work on there. I'm not 100% sure who it is. I think I don't see a name on the covers, but yeah, I like his work. It's pretty good. Here's number 2. They Go Ape. Now somehow I don't think this next one is. I'm not sure if it's part of the series or not, because on this one it says 4 of 4 here, whereas this just says number 2 and this just says number 1. It doesn't say 1 of 4 or 2 of 4. Again, these are $1 books. This next book, also just $1, and the reason I picked this one up was my first copy of this from when I was a kid. There's a coupon right here, about right here, just going over the staple. And when I was a kid, I was dumb enough to try to take that coupon out and see what it was, and I tore the cover right, so my cover's detached right here on my original copy. So for $1, you cannot beat that. Next up is Spider-Man just regular old Spider-Man, number 7. and number 8. Now, I have quite a few of those from when I was a kid, but I think I may have missed those 2. I'm not sure if I did, but for $1, who cares? And these next 1, 2, 3, 4, next 5 books, they cost me between $3 and $4 a piece. So they're not in my dollar list there. But the very first one I got here is New Mutants number 93. I'm not a huge fan of Layfield, but I do like this cover. I think Wolverine getting ready to stab those claws right in Cable's stupid face is a really cool cover. Not a fan of Layfield, not a fan of Cable. Never have been a fan of Cable anyways. I did bite off. I did bite on that hook of Layfield early on, though. These ones I didn't get, though. Next up is 94. We have 95. 96. And 97. So with all those, and plus that New Mutants 98 that I got recently, that puts me at about 73% complete on this run. I still got to work on fixing those up. Now I'm almost done with my flea market finds. Now this next one, these next 2 books cost me $5 a piece. We got Spawn number 9, and just because that wasn't enough, Spawn number 9 again. Now he kind of got me on this particular one right here, this issue, because up here, it's hard to see it, but right here, there's a little bit of water damage, and it's you don't notice it while it's in the bag, because with these Mylar bags, or I'm sorry, not Mylar, but the poly bags, they kind of ripple here anyways, so I did not notice that, but $5, whatever. Now these next 2 books I got together as a set. I think they cost me $4. But the first one is Women of Marvel, and this is on that new set of cards that they're put out recently, Women of Marvel. But I think that this is done by Sarah Pichelli. She's an Italian artist who broke into American comics. I'm not sure how long ago, but I'm very happy that she has, because her work is just amazing. Then Women of Marvel number 2. It's a great Greg Land cover of Songbird, Invisible Woman, and I think that's Shanna the She-Devil. Alright, next up is a couple of magazine-sized books that I got. The first one, this was like $2. That's the Punisher magazine, number 1, very first issue. I'm not a huge fan of the Punisher on his own, I never have been. I think he's a cool character, but like with Wolverine and Deadpool, I think that Marvel just oversaturated everything with him back in the day. So that's kind of when I get overexposed to things, it's just I lose interest. And then the next one is, I'm going to carry on in my New Mutants vein, and the New Mutants Marvel graphic novel. It's number 4, again featuring the New Mutants with art by Bob McLeod, and it's written by Chris Claremont. And I really wish this had just been done the size of a trade so I could fit it in my comic boxes, but I guess they had a different idea what a graphic novel was back in the day. But again, this is the very first appearance of the New Mutants, and it was worth the $4, $5 I paid for it, and it's only got a $4.95 price tag. Now next up, I got the last 5 books from this flea market haul, and again, I got these together. And these books, since I first discovered them on eBay about a year ago, I've just been trying to find them in a local shop, or trying to find them on eBay at a price that I thought was fair, for my pocket anyways. But they all seem to go between $45 and $50, $60. And I got them all bundled together for $15. And they are in pretty good shape. The covers are all nice. Most of the corners are all sharp. But I'm going to start this backwards with these. Gotham Girls, number 5. Now, the thing is, this is one story that runs through all 5 of them, and it's told, each section of the story is told from the point of view of the character that's on the cover. So, wrapping up the story, Barbara Gordon there, Batgirl she's the one, it's from her point of view. Then, issue 4 is from Detective Montoya's point of view. The number 3 is told from Harley Quinn's point of view. Now, I actually discovered these books when I was looking for Harley Quinn books. She's particularly the animated version of Harley Quinn. I just think she's a really, I just think her costume is really cool, and she's a little whacked out. But I think it's the red and black and the white of her costume that always catches my eye. Then we've got number 2, obviously Poison Ivy, and number 1, Catwoman. I cannot tell you how happy I was. Honestly, going to a flea market, I didn't think I'd find anything that was in good that I would like in the first place, or anything that was really in good shape. And I was definitely wrong when I found these books. Like I said, these have been on my radar for about a year. I'm so happy to have these books in my collection. This next book I'm going to show you, I got off of eBay, and it's very recent. It is Bleeding Cool 100, number 7. And you're going to think, why in the fuck is this guy showing me this stupid book? Well, because if you look down here, exclusive Valiant Shadow Man 13X, bagged with this issue. Yep, there it is. I'm going to have to pull that book out of there and put it in a bag and board, but I just thought I'd show this to you because it's really cool. I mean, Shadow Man's a voodoo doll, and he's getting poked full of needles. And again, I told you, Shadow Man is one of the books that I'm really enjoying lately. I had one more book here that I got from the flea market, that I got for $1. It's X-Men number 56. And it is in such terrible shape that I think I may treat that book just like I would the American flag in that kind of condition and just burn it because it's terrible. It was good for a read, but as far as collectability and anything else, it's not worth anything, honestly. I don't even know why I gave the guy $1 for it. And that wraps up my oh, I'm sorry. One more thing I want to hit on. This is a pet peeve that I have with Marvel lately in the last 5 or 6 years or so. Something like this. This is X-Men number 39. Y'all recognize Domino on a cover if you read any Marvel books or particularly X-Men books. Honestly, that is a really cool cover. I love this cover. I think it's awesome. But then, when I go and I open this book up, and we look inside, this right here, this kind of shit is what we're given to read for that book. It's just, I can't do it. This kind of stuff just pisses me off because we go from this awesomeness to this stuff. I mean, I don't understand it. It's like Marvel's trying to pull the wool over our eyes and fuck us over by giving us shit on the inside, and it pisses me off. Again, this is a book that I bought a lot of X-Men books. I think it was like 25 books I got for $5, and this happened to be one of them. And I saw the cover and I was like, ooh, this is awesome. Then I got inside and I was like, crap, I didn't even read it because it just looks like shit. So anyways, that's going to be I'm going to wrap up the video with that happy note right there. Any comments, likes, whatever, you should post them down below. Thanks. Have a good day.